Good morning, fuckers. This is the first time that I've ever scheduled something, so I'm normally like 3 minutes of random silence just waiting for people to show up. Today's going to be a little different. Before I bring up our guest of the hour, I sat awake last night after the day of fuckery that commenced, and I said, what is the one surefire way to get yourself canceled in this community? And go-karts? Nope, you can slide right back in. Great grandmas? That's not a thing. Fake catcher content? Nope. But if you do interviews with interesting people, you will go the way of Terrence Castingway, Damone, JDQ, and our very own Chris LaRoche. So today I'm excited to let you guys take a peek behind the opinions, behind the caffeine. And I'm going to have a conversation with someone that's become, whatever a YouTube friend looks like, this guy's probably as close as I have one. So I'm going to put it in the chat. Oh, fucking PatCon's here. Eat a dick, PatCon. Everybody, I give you Todd Surgeon. Get on up here, you handsome bastard. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is.
I hate to disappoint the ones that were expecting Todd.
What do you think about that intro, man, for a cold lead-in? Did you appreciate it?
Hold up. I had it open. I had it open on the other end. I had to mute it. My bad. Fucking amateur out here.
That's I'm being bullied on my own show 13 seconds into our conversation. What the fuck? Dude, you saw how I got yesterday. You want to see that version of Ray Matt?
Hey. Calm down.
All right. That's I had my black rifle this morning, so I'm good to go. Yeah, I don't know, man. You give people a shit ton of information. You put a lot of work into the community, and I know we kind of bounced around the idea this morning. I do want to talk about the state of the community, the state of the movement. You know, where we were, where we are, where we're headed. But as much of I got interested in Matt when I realized you were somebody that likes to be as transparent, as truthful. Would you say that's kind of like when we really started to hit a stride in our working relationship?
Yeah, when you realized that I was one that I was going to tell the truth no matter who it was about, you know?
Yeah, that's it's a quality seldom found in people in 2023. And it seems as much fuckery commences, everybody knows, like outwardly, you and I are a perfect example of we probably have similar principles. We just have different values in the way that we see things in the community. And, we've been able to, I would say, with the exception of you hijacking my White Guy Wednesday Discord under a secret costume, we've had a pretty positive working relationship, Matt.
I had no part in that.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah,
so
I guess you can't, but yeah, I wasn't a part of that, but I came along a little bit after that, shortly after that, but.
So let me ask you this question. For like I said, you're a guy that talks a bunch, but you don't talk a bunch about yourself. What either attracted you or drew you to this community?
To be honest, well, I have a story that goes along with this community. I don't tell it, and I haven't told it. I may one day, but I haven't. But mainly, I found Alex during COVID, and it was extremely entertaining at first. And then I realized there was a lot more that went along with it, and it just it grabbed my interest.
Do you see the irony in that parallel?
Yeah.
Because I would say that Alex probably had the same journey.
Yeah, he did, and I've pretty much, in my views and my opinions on the way this community operates, I have grown, synonymously with Alex, and I've really liked the way he has matured in his in his catching abilities and interview styles and the way he goes about things.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I put on the I forgot to put on the don't disturb thing. I need to learn how to do that. So let me go do that. That's incredibly unprofessional. Please forgive me, everybody.
That's about like me coming in here with my YouTube still open and not muted.
Well, that's we're amateurs, man. We don't get paid for this. It's no, it's not my birthday today, Tech. You fucking weirdo. So I mean that brought you here. Everybody knows that you have a pretty vocal anti-CPP platform. Do you have any personal experiences that you would care to maybe reference as to? I mean, are you just seeking the truth? Is any of this personal for you? Did he? I'm not going to make a joke and say like, where on the doll did he? But like, was there anything in particular that struck a chord with you that kind of set you on this crusade?
I just don't like being lied to, and I don't like seeing other people be lied to. If there's anything that people can gather about me, is that I seek the truth. No matter who it's about, what subject it's about, I just want the truth. And I'm not going to try to force other people to feel the way I feel about something. I just want to put the information out there and let them, if they're dumb enough to still follow him, then dumb enough to still believe the lies, then that's on them. I put the information out there. They don't have to.
You can lead a horse to water, huh?
Yeah, but I usually bring receipts, with everything that I say, there's receipts. I try not to put any information out there that I can't verify with a receipt. Sometimes I'll give an opinion, but I try not to put anything out without receipts.
Do you know what an op-ed is, Matt?
In what sense of the word?
In journalism, an opinion editorial, an op-ed.
Yeah.
Basically, all news at this point, not just in the print, like news, everything's come with a slant. There's very few people out there that, it's one thing to know how your journalist feels. It's a completely different thing to. It's a completely different idea for them to try to put their own spin on everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me ask you this question. Obviously, CPP is in your sights right now. If that were to be a situation that were to, either redeem itself, resolve itself, go whatever the terms that it may be, that it's not something that you're interested in pursuing anymore. What would you think that your next venture would be?
I would find other truth to seek. I'm only gonna follow what the people want to know. Take for example this. The recent activities of the past 3 or 4 days. I brought forth what I thought about it, a general idea of what I think went on, and how I feel about it, and then we'll move back on to some CPP content. But it would be similar stuff to that, things that I can bring proof for, and just give an opinion.
That's I like how someone's trying to bring Chuckles into the conversation. That's fucking Frogger. Let me ask you this, man. Back in the COVID days of Alex in a JP Losman jersey, giggling at people at Walmart, and people just kind of figuring out what it was that we were doing in this community. What do you miss about that era, if anything?
There's lots of different subgenres in the community. We've got everything from the quick exposure catches, like say what Musa does. We've got the 2-hour deep dive in the head of a pedophile interviews that Alex does. We have the I'd say like the everyday regular style catches, like what Cam and what most of the community does. Um, we've got the tire slashing like like
Boombox core.
window busting now. Um,
Allegedly.
allegedly somebody busted some windows out of a
Yeah,
car.
this show is for entertainment purposes only.
Right, right.
Um, but hypothetically speaking, if somebody were to do that, I don't think I would be too upset. And maybe we can get him sponsored by like BF Goodrich and Safe Light.
Safe Light sponsoring him. But I don't guess I really miss anything. The community grows day by day. It's went in a direction that some people don't like, and I'm not necessarily going to say that I don't like it because it keeps us entertained. Most people are here for either personal reasons or strictly for entertainment. A lot of people are here just for entertainment, and those are the ones that go towards the tire slashing and the old Walmart catches of Alex. Then there are here people who are here for a deeper reason. I think there's a little bit of something here for everybody.
And as far as where it's at now, if you care to know my opinion, the one thing that I do like is, I'm the first one to admit, I have a full time job. I have my own business. I have my family. It's the law enforcement side of things is incredibly time consuming and draining on resources. I got a firsthand on one that I went with Alex and Jay, and then a couple that I did with Cam. So when the one thing I do like now is that we're actually making not only an impact, and like my catches are primarily for like I like to work with law enforcement if I can, but I would say that my main goal is I like to try to understand the mindset of where guys are coming from, and I say guys because I've never caught a girl, but when the predators, I don't even like the word pred. I feel like it devalues like the series. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I get you.
Like when people kind of they almost kind of water it down. Right now, we had this weird period where cops would show up all the time, and now we're seeing I think a little bit of a stabilization where the cops are like, hey, wait a minute, I don't know how it's going to rectify itself. But do you think that it's going to go more the way that we don't see the exposure interviews, a la Chris Hansen to Catch a Predator, Alex 2 hours, and we're just going to have decoys turning over transcripts and materials to law enforcement, and then hopefully, putting together a recap of what happened to put this guy in jail?
If it were to go that route, it would benefit the style that I plan to keep, because YouTube is getting rid of us. YouTube is getting rid of anything involved with catching these guys. And the only way to be able to keep it on YouTube is going to be through body cam footage and FOIA request and things like that. So I see it moving as far as YouTube goes. I see it moving in that direction. With as far as doing stuff like Cat does, I mean not Cat, like Lioness does, and
Yep.
just decoying the guys and doing exactly what Weld County wanted Tommy to do. I at least see it going that way for now until everything levels out and everybody figures out how this is going to work, because it's still in a limbo period of how this is actually going to work, because there's so many different styles out there. It's like I said, it's limbo, and I feel like Linus is an example of how they want it to go, at least for now, and how they'll work with us, at least for now. If you want to have law enforcement involved, if you don't want to have law enforcement involved and you're not worried about a conviction, then go about it however you want to. But I feel like Weld County, with their interview and their consensus on how they want to do things, laid it out there a way that law enforcement will work with you. And I think that will apply with just about any law enforcement.
And let me ask you this: now that you've got and where people put their content is none of our business. People have the right to do with it however they so please. But I know that I think Courtney's now with Trilogy Media. Alex is on Rumble. Certain catchers are on Odyssey. Do you think that dividing the movement into those different platforms is gonna have an impact on? Because I mean, the algorithm is pretty much what brought us all together. Would you agree?
Right. It did.
Do you think that being fractionated across all platforms is going to be detrimental to the community or the movement or the cause, whatever you want to call it?
I think it's already been detrimental to definitely to the YouTube part of it, because we're all split up. But I think that YouTube is going to be the I don't know, I guess like a flag. Take, for example, what Alex does. Alex still has a few big channels, only one of which is monetized still. I think PP Southeast Texas is the only one still monetized. And he'll go live either on JDQ or on Gordon Flowers or PP Southeast Texas. And he'll say, look, we're doing a live catch in this many minutes. And he's kept those non-monetized channels alive strictly to move people over to a platform where they're going to work with him. And I think Rumble is probably going to be the home. I don't think it's going to be Odyssey. I know why certain people are going to Odyssey, but I don't think that Odyssey will be the home. The main draw for Odyssey, especially for people like Tommy and for people like PvP, is that the chat is easily moderated. And you can control the chat a lot better, the live stream chat.
Yeah, that's I have an Android and I can't even comment in the live chat on Rumble, which kind of,
you have to do it through the browser. If you do it through Chrome browser, you can still comment.
do you think that Rumble's going to be the ultimate platform, or do you think that they were the first one to take a stab at it and somebody's going to roll in with something comparable to YouTube? And
No, I think Rumble is taking off enough. If anybody's into the stock market, buy Rumble stock right now, because I think it's gonna take off. I think it's already taking off, and I think it's on the way to be the home, especially with their association with locals. I think that Rumble is the way to go. They've already upped their game a lot of like 1,000% from what it was right in the beginning 6 months ago when Alex started pushing Rumble. They've already upped their game so much from what they were. And a lot of it is to support conservative media and these predator catchers.
do you think there's any chance that if somebody got a loud enough voice from the hilltop, that the way that YouTube has treated our community and the stance that they've taken, as it pertains to people that would wish to bring harm upon children, do you think there's any chance that they could pressure YouTube into changing, its policies and procedures against us?
No, not a chance.
Really?
I don't think there's any chance that anybody can be loud enough to do that. YouTube is owned by Google, and I don't think that there's anybody with enough money or enough clout to make the change.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That's anybody that comes into the community now. It's if you were watching a predator poachers catch, you would see PP Mass and PP Toronto and OB Nation and Courtney Elizabeth and like the entire algorithm before YouTube caught on to what we were doing and took the stance that they did. It took no effort whatsoever to find any and all new catchers.
No, you would find there would be 20 or 30 different catchers in your, because you watched this section. But
Free catchers, I miss them. Do you remember them, Matt?
Yeah.
They were whenever you saw those flip flops in the feet walking up, and somebody saying "You're done, bud." Yeah, that's and the way it's moving now. I mean, what you saw Skeeter do with some of the professional film crew, what Courtney was able to do with Trilogy Media. It's I don't know. Sometimes I sit back and the people who have been around long enough. It's kind of funny to see how fast and how differently things have changed in what I would consider a pretty short period of time.
And while we're on that subject, credit where credit is due. Courtney has fought an extremely hard fight with Patreon and locals and YouTube members and a couple of channels getting deleted and all that. She has fought an extremely hard battle to get where she is, and she deserves a lot of support. She deserves the support of the community, and it, like Kat just said, it was a hell of a move for Courtney and to go to Trilogy Media. And I think that at least for the time being, it will be healthy financially and for popularity and getting her out there. I think it's a good move. Yeah, Ko-Fi also she got kicked off of or something like that. But trilogy is very big, and the quality, the cinematography in their videos and the quality of editing is next level compared to um, a lot of these other catchers. Once that's like whenever Skeeter started making money after the Gideon catch, and Skeeter started really making some money with his channel. The editing quality and all that instantly went to next level. He invested some of what he was making very well and invested it into his content, and I think it was a smart move.
Um, I'm genuinely I'm curious if we're gonna see one day like an Alex, Courtney, and like PCI streaming service. Did you ever watch that Undercover Underage with Rue?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I can recall anything directly
It
from it.
was a fucking daycare next to what our community does. It was like 40 minutes of self-grandizing. I mean, like I respect what it was and what it did, and it did paint it in a light, but it was so diluted and so anesthetized that it didn't like the grittiness and the rawness of the interviews that we see from our catchers. Um, I think that's why it wasn't compelling enough. But at least they made an effort to try to put something out there. And now
Yeah,
Chris Hansen and his fucking grifting ass is back with True Blue. Fuck Chris Hansen, by the way.
yeah, fuck Chris Hansen. We're probably gonna get this video nixed because we said fuck Chris Hansen, but
For real?
no, I'm just
Oh,
being
it's like
facetious.
Jesus Christ, man. That's the rabbit hole goes really deep down there.
Yeah.
Um, so which of all those platforms you think that Rumble more than anything else is going to be the place that we find this? And I did read in the terms of service that Rumble prohibits locals from being anything. Like how are our catchers going to be able to walk that line between sexual content and educational content?
Um, I'm not sure, but uh, apparently they're doing it right now with the content that they're putting out. Um, so none, as far as I know, no one's had any videos removed from locals for sexual content. So apparently, the content that they're putting on locals right now is making locals enough money where they're turning a blind eye to it, or um, they're not pursuing that rule, or they're getting by with what they're doing. What they're doing is not considered sexual content.
Okay. So there was just something brought up in the chat, and I always like to say when I don't know something, I assumed that Locals was just like the membership version from YouTube. Am I incorrect in that?
Locals is its own entity. But I believe, like Warbot said, I believe that they're owned by Rumble, or Rumble is owned by locals or something of the sense. They're in cahoots with one another. So so I you know I believe that it's going to be okay if you can put it on Rumble. Then I think it'll be okay for locals.
And like what you do is obviously a little bit different than what Ed does. Do you get any enjoyment out of any of the fuckery panels or new the panel channel makes me chuckle from time to time. So does Predcatcher Drama. Like, what's your take on those mediums?
No,
Medium?
it's funny content. I don't mind the panel channel. I don't mind Predcatcher Drama. Usually, behind the fuckery of the videos, Predcatcher Drama has a good question that they're asking. Um, they have some sort of concern that has been brought forth from somebody. So I think it's healthy to have those channels as far as our content goes, and it's healthy to have someone who's willing to put the time into editing those videos to make it entertaining to watch.
The editing skills are pretty on point with Predcatcher Drama. Every time I say something dumb, I'm like, the next morning I wake up and I look at Predcatcher Drama and panel channel. I'm like, please don't be on there. Please don't be on there.
Yeah. I think that whoever's behind that channel has been around the community for a long time and has seen a lot come and go. So
my gut is telling me that it's Bill Evans.
yeah,
that's where I'm going with. And let's take this
juju on Bill. Then I think he can handle it.
Let's talk, like, back in the day. I think some of the rivalry between catchers, like, it was almost satirical in nature. You know what I mean? There was like a cartoonish feud, and I feel like in the last year it's become more of what you could almost call like a legitimate hatred. It's
gotten real in the beginning? Whenever it was rivalry, like let's take Alex and Rami, and Alex and Rami ended up turning kind of next level and ended up real too. But in the beginning, when it was Alex against Tommy, it was, like you said, satirical, and it was kind of funny, and then people just latched onto it, and it created division, but it also created a lot of unity. It divided, I guess, two sides of the 6-inch fence, but it brought a lot of unity also. So it has its positives and its negatives. So,
and do you think people should have to? I'm from the school of thought, when people stop talking, that's when things get really bad. So I've been pretty vocal about just trying to keep a pathway of communication with certain people. We're on panel, but you and I are big boys. Give it to me straight. Do you think it's stupid? Do you question my ethics because I do? Do you think that it's needed to try to get somewhere? Fire away.
I think that if I didn't know you beyond YouTube, because I feel like we've communicated enough not involving YouTube that we know one another a little better than just our YouTube persona. I feel like if I didn't know you beyond that I would question your affiliation or your connection with, quote unquote, the other side a little bit. But I know your ultimate goal for all of this. So I don't question your ethics because I know what kind of person you are. So I know what you're out to get. And so I don't question your ethics, and it doesn't, no matter your phone call to Tommy though I think it was dumb and useless, and it will never make a change with the type of person that he is. Um, I know why you did it, and it doesn't affect my view on you. So
Yeah, man, that's would you be willing to bet that in those 213,000 subscribers, there's at least like, I mean, I'll be a fence. I'll sit on our side of the fence. Do you think there's at least 10,000 pretty decent people over there?
I think in his 200,000 people, there's 160,000 that don't even watch his videos anymore, or 100,000 of those don't watch his videos anymore. So we'll take out of those 100,000 that still watch his videos. I would say that, there's a few thousand decent people who are just there to see predators or whatever get caught, and pedophiles exposed, no matter what the cost for the character of the catcher is. So there is some good people over there, no doubt, but the ones that he keeps in his tight inner circle are clownish a lot.
They're persona non grata to Matt the morning after.
Yeah, most of them.
So let me. I know we've dabbled.
They had one decent one, and they pushed that guy out. That guy's no longer around because he wouldn't take a stance on their team or their side of the 6-inch fence, because he wouldn't co-sign everything that they do. So they pushed that good guy out, and now that good guy is not even a part of the community anymore.
And I know that you and I have kind of touched on this in private, and I'm sure people would want to know. And with the way that you kind of attack the truth, I know you said you don't really have any ambition to expose a predator, but what if your fan base, what if your supporters kind of pushed you and said, Matt, we'd really want to see what you would bring to the table? Would you be open to that?
I would go with somebody. If you came to my area, we could swoop up Ed, and you and Ed would go deal with a predator. I would do that, but I'm not really interested. Not really interested in catching a predator.
We'd probably leave the predator alone. You two guys would be bickering about Tommy, and I would be doing Mike Saha impressions, and the whole thing would just go to hell.
Yeah, possibly.
And it's you're not a guy that there's not a lot of filler when Matt talks. That's kind of what I do. I just kind of fill the void and fill the space. What would you like to see different from the community? Like if you could just have your way.
Man, it's always about truth. I really would just like to see more realness. Like it's not about the face you put on. I just really want people to be real, and that's why I've supported some of these new catchers that I've spoken with behind the scenes and stuff. Cat, Linus, people that I've spoke with, off camera, because I feel that they're real. They're in this for the right reasons, whatever those reasons may be, because the right reason doesn't have to be my reason, and I just want people to be real. Just be real. Own who you are. If you make a mistake, own it. Take some accountability, and we can move on, because I can always get past the truth. Even if you and I don't agree on something, Ray, and you do something that I don't support or wouldn't get past it, don't lie to me about it. If you say something that might affect me in some way, just, don't lie about it. All you got to do, you tell the truth. We can always get past the truth, no matter how bad the truth is. We can always get past that. But, once you lie to me, that brings everything you've ever said into question.
Sometimes Haystack's a dick. Sometimes he says, my favorite part of this stream was Matt's financial advice. I enjoy some of the funny trolling. That's when it's not. What do you think about the people who like some of the darker side of trolling? You know, the ones that are meant to either make fun of the deceased or, you know, that.
I can't support that. I can't support any trolling that is meant to cause emotional harm to somebody. I love people trolling. You know, a lot of times there's small groups of friends that go into chats that like to have fun trolling back and forth. And they go in and they do it group style, you know, and I can get on board with that. But anything that is meant to cause somebody emotional harm, I can't support that. I don't like the dark stuff.
That's and you know, it's funny. Me and you talked last night, and you know, I'm not going to bring up the subject because I'm done with it. But I went back and listened to the way I responded, and normally I'm pretty media trained. You know what I mean? Like it's very seldom do you hear me get explosive, and I was actually more aggressive than I thought I was in my head. It was pretty. I had a tough time. I had a tough time watching it. It wasn't very fun to watch. I don't necessarily take back anything I said, but you know what's wild is I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna. After I said it, I'm like, this is gonna end badly. This is gonna end badly, and I wound up getting, you know, I won't name any names, but a pretty substantial size of support, which I think that made with the point I'm trying to fucking meander to, and you know me, I always use 3,000 words when 7 will do. Is I think most people just want the truth. Like that's I think that you're speaking for the silent majority, Matt.
Man, I say this all the time to everybody in multiple situations in my real life, on YouTube. I always say the truth is always good enough. You don't have to lie about anything because we can get past the truth no matter how bad the truth is. It is always good enough.
Actually, Red Hood, I tried to use it today at Costco, and it says, please call corporate. Your account is under review. So it hasn't been revoked, but I do think that I have to atone for what I did. Yeah, that's and it's funny, man. I used to love the you were around when me and Nate did our little thing. Like I feel like the nighttime or the quote unquote fuckery panels sometimes, and I like a lot of the people there. I mean, I really like FCC is fucking hilarious. Jason, like there's a couple of new friends, you know, even though I lost Damone and Bad Guy in that space, and you know, Nate, I see Nate over at Meows. It's, you know, I feel like we were a high school class that graduated and now we only see each other on holidays. But
Yeah.
the nighttime panels, sometimes I feel that the inmates have begun to run the asylum.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes. I don't see, you know, I have a very normal life, you know. I do work from home most of the time. Um, I work out of the home 1 to 2 days a week. So I'm at home. I can sit I can sit at my desk with my laptop on and be on a panel and work at the same time. So I have that luxury. But I go to sleep at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I'm up at 5 every day. So I have normal hours, and I like to spend as much time as possible with my wife and family. So um, I I can't do a lot of the nighttime panels. Sometimes I'm in the chat and whatnot, but I can't do the nighttime panels. I like the people that are there. Ed is one of the people that I respect the most in this community. Even though, as hard as it is for some people to believe, Ed and I don't always agree on everything. You know, I don't I don't have to agree with somebody to respect them and what they do and what they're about. But you know, the nighttime panels are different. Like somebody said, let me see, what was it said? Nighttime panels are not the same as it used to be. We traded Bad Guy and Damone for Locke's Angels. I don't know if that's all the way true, but yeah, they've changed somewhat in the last little while. Let's see.
Yeah, it's it's a bummer, and like I oddly enough, I think JT Colfax is pretty intelligent guy, but
JT
when I see
Colfax is very intelligent. As
when
dumb as
what
he is, he's very intelligent.
he's I'll never forget. There was one night when he was drinking and he started headbutting the desk, screaming, "God damn you!" And if I'm ever that fucked up, dude, like I really hope you call my wife and say get him off panel so this isn't fucking chronicled for history. And like there's no part of it. Like I enjoy a little bit of fun fuckery, like like trust me, there's silly shit that we like to poke fun at each other about. None of us should be that sensitive, but watching people literally have like either, and last night was cool, man. Something neat happened on a panel, and I want to make reference to this. You probably didn't see it. Me and Cap had an amazing conversation off air yesterday. We talked for a little bit, and he comes into the panel, and it's basically just the residue of the issues that were yesterday. And Broadband comes up, and I'm ready to lay into Broadband because I had just seen the Musa video, like that came out while I was gone, and I wanted to ask him about it. And Broadband's like, I was incredibly disrespectful and rude. I wish I could make. And I'm sitting there wanting to be angry at this guy. And I'm like, fuck, he's literally owning what he's doing. And I'm the guy, I'm always the fucking super positive one, but I'm thirsty for blood. Like just yesterday, violence was the theme of the day. And Cap comes in and Cap says, "Hey, Broadband, what are you eating?" And Broadband's like, "Oh, I only got one top ramen left. So I got to see." Like Broadband wasn't asking for shit. And I mean, it must have been 7 or 8 people all threw him $50, $20, $10 to, it was a glimmer of hope in a place that sometimes seems a little bit destitute. And,
Yeah,
it was fun. Like I took off my positive hat for the day and I was the bloodthirsty fucking dick. And Cap comes in and Cap picked up the slack. It was cool to watch, Matt.
I haven't watched. I watched a little bit of the panel. I watched some of it before I went to bed, and then I watched. I actually fell asleep in my recliner at like 9 o'clock last night, and then whenever I got up at 11, there was I would say the most crucial part of that panel. I think I messaged you a couple of times, and then I went to sleep. I watched a little bit of it, and then apparently, from what you're saying, it got a little more lighthearted afterwards. But this community, as fucked up as it is, when something traumatic happens, it really can come together. It gives a small, like you said, a glimmer of hope in a very dark place, because a lot of us are here for a dark reason, and but we can come together if necessary and support one of our own.
Well, that's somebody. Did you see in the chat? Apparently, do you remember Panda back in the day? I had him on White Guy Wednesday once.
Yeah, he's getting sued. I saw that. I saw the beginning of his conversation there. He's getting sued by a couple of people or something.
I would like to investigate more. If anybody has a link to the, I mean, is it a report or a docket? I don't know what I'm asking for, but that would be, I know he's not really part of our space, but if he's getting sued by a law enforcement agency for exposing a pedophile, I feel like that's something that we should probably address.
I remember the catch that he's talking about. He caught a guy, and I think the guy's son is a cop too, or his guy's son is a state trooper or something of the sort. And he's got some hotshot lawyer from DC, probably backed by Homeland Security. But I think that the dirtiness involved in the situation is probably something that people like Ed and myself and stuff and whatnot should look into. So I had planned after I heard that I was going to go back and listen to that section of the panel and try to reach out to him because I would like to at least look into the situation.
I think he does most of his stuff on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. I remember him telling me that about a year and change ago.
Yeah, his YouTube channel wasn't that big, but I think that he had the largest audience. Yeah, the Chomo, but the Chomo worked for Homeland Security.
Oh, so he's not getting sued by Homeland Security. He's getting sued, but maybe the union found him a lawyer. That could be, but we're speculating and we shouldn't do that. I do have a question. Who is Adam Schiff?
I'm not sure. The name doesn't ring a bell.
Someone just said, can we take a moment out to realize that Tommy just surpassed Adam Schiff on the Grifties?
I don't know. Everybody go vote on the Grifties, by the way. I'm going to do it right here on
on Ray's channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna go vote right now. We're at number 11 and number 12.
Yeah, Broadband in one of the Gildeds actually took a moment out to say thank you to everybody's generosity. So good for him. And then he said he'd be willing to do a tag team match of me and him versus Tiberio and Holy Venom.
I think y'all would slaughter them.
That's yeah. When somebody showed me the video that Tiberio made about LC Predator Cat Musa, it was so insincere. It was so theatrical. It was an artistry piece, and like whoever thought it was, and like whatever their mindset was to. I don't know. It's
I'll tell you their mindset. Their mindset was Musa was getting news coverage at the time, and he was out in public, getting a lot of positive feedback, and they wanted to feed on that and get some clout. And Broadband has even admitted that they were strictly clout chasing, and I think that a lot of people gain popularity like that online. But
so we have the Grifties. Can you tell us a little bit about what Matt does when he's not being caffeinated, he's not leading an online revolution against a catching organization of Colorado, and he's not a sound engineer? Like, you have a full day off and your wife's gone. What's Matt gonna do?
I'm gonna mow my grass, man.
Jesus Christ.
I like to be outside. I'm gonna mess around in my yard. I'm an old guy, man. I'm gonna go trim my roses and whatnot. But
you have, forget the daily duties. I'm saying like a little bit. Is it Costa Rica or is it Alaska? Is it the beach or the mountains? Are you golfing or are you fishing? Like,
I'm probably going to play golf. And if it was me, it's mountains. If it's my wife, it's a beach.
Okay. Hood's got a question. What is a Foley artist?
I'm not sure what he means by that.
Oh.
But no, some people do those duties, like I was saying, because they have to, but those are just things that I like to do.
And I do enjoy that it's funny for a guy who talks a shit ton, my panels never last incredibly long. And I'm not running out of talking points. I just, you are straight, no chaser, and there's no filler. Is there anything about any journalists?
No, I'm not a Foley artist.
Oh.
They make the sound effects for movies, like, smashing watermelons for punches and shit like that. No, I'm not.
Oh, I think I've seen those in like behind the director's cut sometimes when they They take you behind the scenes on how are you a little bit of a cinephile or no?
No, I'm not. My wife is, but I'm not.
Are you a music buff?
Somewhat, but yeah, somewhat.
What's in if you were rocking that like 1998 Toyota Camry right now back in 2002, what's in your 5 CD changer? And if anyone's too young to remember, that's when you knew you made it. Is you could put 5 CDs.
Man, I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't listen to a lot of music now. But I used to back in the day, I guess. But I don't know, to be honest. That's not a question I could really answer. I'm just
All right, so that'll do a little rapid fire.
I am a musician, so I don't listen to a lot of other style music.
Corn or DMX?
Do what?
Corn or DMX?
DMX. I'm not I'm not a metal rocker or anything like that. I don't like that. I listen to old style music, man. I like man, people are gonna laugh at me. I like country music. I like blues. I like '90s rap. You know, shit like that.
You fucks with a little Belle Biv DeVoe?
Maybe a little later than that. Maybe a little later than that.
Do you we got about 8 minutes left. Do you mind if I drop the link, and if anybody comes up, or if actually, you know what, drop it in the chat if anyone has a legit question that they want to ask Matt, because today he doesn't have an agenda. He's letting us peek, you know, but behind the coffee. Fire your questions away at Matt now, or forever hold your peace. Which Spice Girl?
I don't know. Maybe Posh Spice. Wasn't that the redhead?
No, the redhead's mine. That's Jerry Hollowell. That's Posh is the lowercase letter L. You're the one who said you're down with the thickness. So
yeah, I am down with the thickness, but if it was Spice Girls, it was probably the redhead. Yeah,
that's Ginger Spice, Jerry Hollowell. She was actually a centerfold in Playboy, and I want to say 1998. Not that I
boys are in sync. Let's just say, man, I never really listened to either one, but we'll go Backstreet Boys.
I like Backstreet Boys as an ensemble, but I like Justin Timberlake as a solo artist better than both bands.
Justin Timberlake is a badass solo.
All right, I'm going to drop the link. We got 4 minutes left. If anybody wants to hop up and ask Matt a question.
And
how was my first attempt at impersonating Terrence Castingway, Matt?
I think you did pretty good. Speaking of Justin Timberlake, his I believe it was the Grammys where he went with Chris Stapleton. That was a great crossover collaboration. I don't know if anybody saw that, but if you YouTube Justin Timberlake, Chris Stapleton, it'll come up, and it was a great collaboration.
Chris Stapleton is a country artist.
Chris Stapleton is a country artist, and he's fucking amazing.
Ray started a Vanilla Ice fan club at his local church when he was 12. That's actually, I did a Vanilla Ice song in a talent show when I was 10. So you're close to the mark, but yes. Every time someone says, "All right, stop," my immediate response, Matt, is to say, "Collaborate and listen." This is so weird on my panels, Matt. Like, nobody ever fucking comes up, dude.
I have the same thing, man. A lot of times, you know, I've got 100 people in there. Got 100 people in there in the chat, and lots of people are talking. You know, 30 or 40 people are talking, but nobody wants to come up. They just want to communicate with me or with each other in the chat. So I had them, I did a poll. I was doing some work yesterday or the day before, and I was like, so do I just end this well, yesterday I think they chose to end it, but the day before I was like, so do I just end this, or do y'all want me to just leave it running on mute so that y'all have a place to talk? And I think people just like to have a place to converse.
We're a chat room with ambient back noise.
Right. A lot of times that's what it is. Which,
so I
I don't mind that. I don't mind sitting there conversing with people.
Is there all right, we got really no one's going to come up to ask Matt a question. Matt's panels are typically closed, so if you had even if you wanted to throw some shade at him, now's the perfect opportunity.
Cat Reed has a, but I won't answer to shade in the chat. I will only answer to people who throw shade if they come on panel.
Cat, what the news just posted, Ray? It was so do you know what I'm talking about right now, Matt?
Yeah, the Hobby Lobby shooting.
Yeah, so the predator that Cat caught got fired from the church, had a moving truck, had to leave, got a job at a Hobby Lobby, and then like 3 days after he started at Hobby Lobby, somebody was murdered at Hobby, and I'm like, it has to be this motherfucker. Like, there is no way that it's not him. I fuck with De La Soul heavy. Well, that was I don't want to let any fucking dead air cloud it. In less than an hour, I think we covered a shit ton of bases. I wish I could hear you laugh a little more, and I think we're gonna see a sillier side of Matt. But
yeah, well, I'll probably go live here in a little bit. I don't. I have a little bit to talk about, but it's not really. I only have about 10 minutes of shit to talk about, so I may not go live. But a lot of times I really just like to go live to interact with these people. So some of them are very comical sometimes.
Alex Murdaugh, guilty verdict. I don't know, man. That's Ed and Matt's thing. This was fun today, Matt. I wanted to decompress from the fuckery yesterday, so I appreciate. I think that was a mildly entertaining conversation that we just shared, and if I do 15 more of these, like I might be able to be up there on the Mount Rushmore with like JDQ and Wish and TC and Damone.
Right.
Yeah, people don't understand how much different it is to have like a one-on-one conversation than like a 10-person panel.
Yeah. It's I'm not big on 10-person panels. It's too many people talking over one another, and it irritates me just to listen to that. I'm sitting here like just telling people to shut the fuck up. So being on one really just irritates the shit out of me.
I do have a request. It says, Ray, can you put in a request for me to be unbanned on Matt's channel? Yours truly, Haystack Sniper.
Do you remember why you got banned, Haystack?
And is anybody going to beg for a free vacation to D's spouse? You're such a fuckface, FCC. I put the request in, Haystack. You and Matt are both grown ass adults, I'm going to assume. I popped on, heard Matt say Chris Stapleton, then Ray spoke, and I sit here heartbroken. That's great.
Yes,
he says he never even. Okay,
yeah,
that's between you and him.
You wouldn't be banned if you have never spoken. You got banned from the chat in my stream. So
can you ban somebody before they chat? Like, can you just ban an account?
Yeah, but it's a lot of fucking work. You have to go to their specific channel and get their URL and then copy and paste their URL in YouTube Studio. It's a lot of work. It wasn't done that way.
Well, everybody, Matt's gonna. Do you want to just take it over there so you can bring these 68 beautiful souls, or do you want to take a breather?
Um, I'll probably go. I'll probably go. I'll probably go live shortly.
All right. Well, if everybody can somebody drop Matt's link in there. I'm sure we share most of the same people, but in case we don't, you guys can find him at Matt the Morning After for all things CPP, for all things truth, and for all things caffeine. And if you want a little bit of, morning recap in the pred catching community with no JT Colfax headbutting the desk, Matt's probably a safe bet.
Right.
All right. I don't know how to drop a link, Matt. I need a grown up. One of my mods drop fucking.
If Jules is a mod, Jules can drop it.
Oh, we got Tech doing it. We got Jay doing it. Sincerely, bro, that was a fun conversation. We've kind of drifted in the last 5 minutes, so let's let the truth prevail. Let's let the people go back to avoiding whatever tasks they have at their jobs they may or may not have. And
y'all go check out Alex first. JDQ says he's got a big announcement right now, so y'all go check out Alex first, and then I'll go live after Alex.
All right, later, fuckers. We're out.
All right, take care.
Well, there must have been love, but it's over now. And I lost you somehow. If I could turn back time, I'd give it all to you. There's still 54 people here. I'm singing random bullshit songs. Go home, people. It's over. It's over. There we go. We're dropping fast. Go on. Get. Okay, bye.